Hey everybody, and welcome back to the First Alert Desk. So happy that you could join us. We're here to get you caught up on the latest local headlines making news around Atlanta. Hopefully you are fresh off of your lunch break, maybe taking a bit of a late lunch today. Welcome to your Friday. It's going to be a great weekend ahead. But before we get into all of that, I want to get you caught up on some important news, and including some stuff that applies to you. So check this out. We'll start with this. Some new details into the chase that shut down I-20 yesterday. Following this, since we first broke it to you here on the First Alert Desk, if you're with us during our breaking news report, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation giving us some details on what led deputies to shoot a suspect. Now, that investigation, as you remembered, lasted 4 hours yesterday. Authorities say Rockdale County deputies were trying to stop 19-year-old Tevin Bass, but he led them on a chase. He was wanted on aggravated assault charges. Investigators say Bass got out and ran when his car wouldn't drive. They say he then reached for a gun and at that point was shot by a deputy. This directly from investigators. Now, no deputies were hurt from that incident. Bass was treated and released into Rockdale County custody. And an important deadline for all my voters out there in Metro Atlanta. Today is the last day to request an absentee ballot for the March 21st special election in Clayton County. Now, residents who are voting on a new sheriff, state representative, and the proposed extension of a special local option sales tax for schools, you might want to listen up to all of this. That deadline is today. We have the latest details on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com. And as we're talking about voter registration, there's a new system designed to streamline the entire process, and it made its debut in Georgia. It's called the Georgia Registered Voter Information System. Now, it'll store voter records on a secure federal server, update voter information in real time, and make processing voter and absentee ballot applications easier. That sounds like a dream, doesn't it? The system will also store voters' license and social security numbers, as well as digital copies of signatures.
And now, in only 15 months, we have executed the largest, fastest roll-up of a top-down statewide voter registration system. That's the largest and fastest in American history.
On Thursday, Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, whose office keeps track of 12 million voter records, rolled out the Georgia Registered Voter Information System, JARVIS for short. The system, custom-made for the Peach State, will store records on a secure federal server, update voter information in real time, and make processing voter and absentee ballot applications a lot easier for local clerks.
They have been in the room. They had a seat at the table since day one.
It's functioning now. We're doing it now.
Rhonda Walthour, the chief registrar of Liberty County, oversees registration of her jurisdiction's 40,000 voters. The system is made to make her job easier, and while voters won't notice any clerical changes,
is this going to make voting quicker?
Oh, yes. Definitely that. Definitely that. That is one of the things that we always wanted.
The system also stores digital records tied to voter files, things like license and social security numbers, and digital copies of signatures and records.
So when people ask us, how do we know who voted? How do we know it's real? How do we know it's fair? Because we have the receipts that we keep on this secure system. That's how we know that. So don't let anybody believe that there's dead voters voting or there's double voting in any kind of significant way, because it's just not true.
Yeah, some important information there. Again, I want to reemphasize for all my Clayton County voters out there, we have some details you're going to want to know about on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com. I'm going to link it below on this live stream. If you're watching us on our digital platforms, Roku TV, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire, thank you for joining us. Make sure you download our Atlanta News First app. All of that voter information that is going to apply to you will be on that free app. And guys, as I'm going through these stories, comment below. Let me know how your Friday's going. Just the craziest news you heard this week, and maybe some cool things that have happened in your life. I want to hear all about it. This is really a casual space to get to interact with you guys and let you know about some of the headlines and some of the developing stories that we're working on back here. So we want to get you caught up and really up to date on all of that. So speaking of some news that will impact you, I think a lot of us have fallen to a hefty healthcare bill at some point in our lives. There's some good news coming out of that. So check this out. State officials are making a move designed to prevent you from being targeted when you have critical health care needs. The Georgia Department of Community Health is reviewing an amendment to require hospitals to provide a 180-day written notice before closing. Now, state law currently requires hospitals to give 30-day notice. Atlanta city leaders are arguing that that's just not enough time, and a change in policy is overdue. Now, if that amendment is approved, hospital systems failing to comply would face a fine. The move comes after Atlanta Medical Center closed after a 62-day notice. And if you were following us, we were as we were guiding you through that story that lasted quite some time in late 2022, the amount of people that were impacted here in the metro Atlanta area based on the closure of that center continues to just feel the effects today. So this is just one of the ways that state lawmakers say they are trying to address that issue and make sure that critical health care needs are being met, and that if you find yourself in a just unimaginable situation, that your health care needs will be addressed. And this is just one of those steps. Speaking of some needs, a lot of us dealing with inflation right now could always use some extra money in our pockets, and there might be some coming to those of you who have Georgia Power. So Georgia Power customers catching a bit of a break on this month's bill. The electric company is offering one-time credits to residents. Now, if you've had an active account during 2022, I'm sure a lot of us have, you are eligible for the credit. The amount varies based on energy usage, and according to the the company's website, I apologize, the decision was based on their business performance, and it's a way to thank their valued customers. So a little money in your wallets, always could use some of that. All right, so I know I like to take you guys through our top 5 stories, get you caught up on our headlines, but it's always good to end things on a bit of a interesting note, a good note, I should say. Check this out. I'm going to pull up this video. We were talking about it here in the newsroom all morning, and I think you'll get a kick out of it. This is Britain's ugliest dog officially, but in my opinion, he's kind of cute. This is Peggy. Peggy is a Chinese crested and pug cross, striking results of that genetic mix. Now, with her permanently dangling tongue, as you can see, hairlessness, and scruffy mohawk, she's always attracted attention wherever she went, to include winning Britain's ugliest dog contest. Now, Peggy has become a bit of a viral superstar for being the perfect ugly dog. I would adore Peggy. I personally really like unique and interesting looking pets and creatures of all kind. So I think Peggy's a cutie. Do you? Let me know in the comments. Linda, I see your comment. I'm assuming that goes out to showing some love to Peggy. All right, guys, I wanted to end that on an interesting note for you, give you something to think about. Again, comment below. Let me know how your Friday's going, if you got some weekend plans. We are updating you on some weather alerts you're going to want to know about, some changes to the forecast. That is on our website, atlantanewsfirst.com, so make sure you check it out.